Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Mark Vandella. So when I was in high school, the movie Blair Witch Project had just come out, and I remember one of the local radio stations did a crazy promo thing at one of our local parks that was in the middle of the woods that was, supposedly haunted. So they did this big promo thing, and a bunch of us got together, a bunch of my friends got together and schemed with another one of our friends. And so 4 or 5 of us went into the back entrance into the woods on our own. We sent another friend with a whole other group of our friends, and we played a bunch of tricks on them. We were throwing rocks over near them so they're freaking out. And I remember there's one spot where there's a bridge that goes over like this little tiny stream. We went underneath the bridge, and as they walked over it, we were pounding on the underside of it, and people were freaking out and screaming. And then finally we were like, all right, we should probably get out of here. And we took off. And when we got in the car, we looked at each other, we were like, it was really freaky, right? And we were like, yeah, we could admit that it was scary. Even though we were the ones, we were fully in control, there was still something in our heads that said, like, what if there really is something out here? Like, the joke's on us, right? But we kind of knew that it was a PR deal by the radio station, right? But the weird thing is that because I've never experienced demons, I've never experienced ghosts, I've never had any of that. So there's stuff in the Bible that's a little bit weird. It's supernatural. And there's the story of a demon-possessed guy. And I don't like the story because I've never experienced it and I don't understand, and it's kind of freaky. But we're going to take a look at really digging into what we could still learn from the story that is uncomfortable for us and see what we might be able to apply to our lives. So I'm going to tell this story really quick. It shows up 3 different places in the Bible. It shows up in Matthew, it shows up in Mark, and it shows up in Luke. And in one of the stories, it's a demon-possessed guy, and there's another example of 2 demon-possessed guys. But really, the story has the same arc, and different authors of those books in the Bible tell it, their experience a little bit different. Again, it's crazy. So if I experience something crazy, I might tell you, right? One friend that was crossing that bridge will tell you that there were 35 hands that reached up and grabbed their legs, which didn't happen, right? And another person crossing that bridge would say, no, it was just a bunch of people howling and pounding, and something flew over our heads, right? We're going to experience those things differently. So really the point is there's a crazy story about a demon-possessed guy in the Bible. And Jesus hears about this guy, and he goes to see him. So as he goes, they're telling, the Bible tells a story that this guy was really uncontrollable. He had torn his clothes. They tried to chain him up at one point, and he'd broken those chains, so nothing could tame him. He lived on his own in the caves. And when Jesus shows up, he comes running, and he pleads with Jesus. He calls him by name. He says, Jesus, Son of God, have mercy on me. And so it's like the demons are talking, and this guy is talking. It's a little confusing, right? But he says, have mercy on me. And Jesus says, what's your name? He responds, Legion, because there's many of us. Right, so this guy's really messed up. And Jesus says, go. He casts these demons into the pigs that were nearby. The pigs run away. They run off a cliff. That's crazy. I've never experienced anything like this. I don't fully understand it, but Jesus teaches us a lesson a lesson through this crazy story that just seems so super weird and strange. See, a couple things that I think we can pull out of this is one, even the evil in this story acknowledges God, acknowledges the existence of God. Right? There's people in this world who aren't crazy, who don't do that. But even evil acknowledges God in this story. And with that, they go to God for help. Right, and again, is it the guy or the demon? There's this weirdness going on, but when they go to God, they say, have mercy on us. We have that opportunity when we have crazy in our lives, even if it's probably not demon possession, but we have crazy in our lives. We acknowledge God and we can go to him. The other thing too is that this uncontrollable disturbance, right, this craziness, nobody could tame but Jesus. There are things in your life that you think are unique to you that are crazy. There are mistakes that we've made that we don't want anybody else to know. And the one person that calms the uncalmable is Jesus. So I would encourage you in your faith, when you're struggling with things, 1, acknowledge God. 2, seek his help. And 3, trust that Jesus is the one person that can calm whatever crazy is in your life. But the last thing I want to leave you with is, like most of these weird supernatural stories, is these are moments for other people to experience God. See, half the people that were there that saw it said, go, this is crazy, this is freaky. But the formerly possessed guy says, Jesus, can I come with you? And he says, no. In Mark 5:19, he says, go home to your family and tell them what God has done for you. Tell them how merciful he was. So as you go live your life, no matter how much crazy you have in your life or how much crazy you think other people have, Jesus regularly used instances like this to show people God. So in your crazy, help people see how God has stepped into that. And if you see other people who you don't agree with, don't get along with, and that you think are crazy, step into their lives and show them a picture of who God is.